What is up with everybody? Wake y'all asses up. It's time to get this mind right. Okay, on today's live, man, we got a great topic, simple, straight to the point, and the fact of the matter is the work ethic is low in today's society. The work ethic is low in today's society. First of all, put in the chat if you agree. If you agree, disagree, let me know. But from what I see, the work ethic is steadily declining. It's steadily declining. Why is the work ethic so low? All across the board, not just with the younger generation, right? All across the board. All across the board, it is steadily declining. Why is that? Why is that? Well, I'll tell you my opinion. I'll tell you my opinion. That is because, well, my opinion, first and foremost, yes, the work ethic is steadily declining. Um, we had a few technical difficulties this morning. Excuse me while I get some stuff straight. um, but yes, we had some. The work ethic is steadily declining, and it has been for a while, right? The work ethic has steadily been declining for a while. Why is the work ethic in today's society so low? I just got a comment on social media. He said, it's my guy James. He said, funny things, we have more black businesses than ever before. What many of us are realizing is the barrier to entry is a lot more tougher than we realize, especially when we don't have the economic funding. Powerful. Powerful. Let me respond to him real quick, see if I can get him on the chat, get him on the live. Powerful, man. Technical side of things. See, when you operating your own stuff, when you operating your own stuff. Give me a second, guys. Okay. Oh, we got comments. Feel free to join the live. If you're here, thank you. Appreciate you. Use this link to join us live. We're talking about why is the work ethic so low? Do you agree that the work ethic is so low? And if you agree, why is that? Why is the work ethic at an all-time low? We here. We here. All right, let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Why is the work ethic so low? This is what I truly believe, right? First and foremost is convenience. Convenience is a killer. So that's why I mentioned that the tech industry is booming. You're going to work in the tech industry because it's steadily increasing. But all of technology has been for convenience, has been to like, what else can we make easier, make it more efficient? What else can we create for humans to do less and less? And as it's gone, as it's developed, obviously humans are doing less and less. People are doing less and less. You actually have less human involvement, right? So technology, um, you got things like grocery stores. We used to like we always ask the question like why back in the 60s, people had their own land, they had bigger families, they was more self-reliant. You had to go to your neighbor for your sugar if you was out of it. Instead of running to the store, you ran to your neighbor. Why is that? It's because one, you knew neighbor had it. Two, you had a farm. You was more self you was more reliant on self, right? You knew more, you had more knowledge of farm handling. Like a lot of people want to get land these days. They don't know what to do with land. A lot of people can't even cut the grass. You don't know anything about gardening. You know anything about farming, agriculture. You know what certain animals do, how much, what costs, what you can actually, benefit from this. You don't know. You don't know how to fish, and you don't know these things because it's not convenient. It's not a necessity anymore. Right? You don't have to know these things to function in human life. You don't. It's way more convenient now. So people aren't working with their hands as much, you know. I could just pay somebody to do it, that mentality, and things of that nature, man. Convenience, I believe, is the killer. So with convenience being the killer, the work ethic has become it's just steadily going down, right? And then it's a generational decline. You see each generation lower work ethic. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm looking at the generation before me and after me, and I'm like, well, they worked. The ones behind me, they like, mm-mm. But why is that though? Like, you gotta ask these questions. Like, why is the work ethic so low in every generation? Is steadily going down? Well, the previous reasons I mentioned, but also I do believe that the next generations see flaw in the previous generations, and like we're not doing that. We're not settling for that. Like you had a generation of workaholics where guys are credit themselves just working. Like that was the goal, was to work. It wasn't about the result. They just loved to work. Well, that generation was, coming from harder times and was restricted from working. So when you finally get the ability and the chance to work and get paid for it, man, you gonna tell me I'm not, like, so they credit themselves on how much they worked. They worked themselves to death. Then the next generation saw that, hey, my parents worked themselves to death. I wish I had more time with them. I'm not doing that with my kids. So then it became a balance. And then that generation seen that, hey, I want more time, I want more things, or, when you come home from work, it's usually the stresses of work that you're focused on, so it's like, "I'm not gonna do that when I get in the workforce," and so forth and so on, to the point where it's like, the previous generation looking at the next generation like, "Y'all just lazy," and some of them are, but a lot of them are just seeing the flaw and wanting a change. And the funny thing about change is you don't usually, like, even though you know what to change, there's no booklet on how. There's no guide on how to change something. You have to take the initiative. So a lot of times to change something of that nature, you're searching for what can be changed. And if it's about work, you don't realize that change takes work as well, but you're like against work. So a change doesn't actually happen besides you just not working. And now it creates laziness. So, uh, yeah, it's a whole lot of factors and why. Another reason why I believe, and these are my theories, guys, my opinions. If you believe that the work ethic is low, put it in the chat, put it in the comments, and let me know why you believe the work ethic is so low yourself, right? So, uh, the next reason I believe the work ethic is so low is terrible management across the board, right? All across the board. Jobs are less appreciative for people. They're less appreciative for people. They look at people as a resource and you are replaceable. And if you're constantly reminded that you ain't shit, basically, you are replaceable, that doesn't make you want to work harder. Let's just be honest, right? And they're losing the human factor. Going back to technology, you have a lot of technology is created for convenience. This convenience is also getting rid of jobs. So this is getting rid of the human factor. So there are less jobs, less areas for the human factor. And people are looking at this, people that are already in this setting is like, why should I work hard? You got a machine that's gonna do all the work. Why should I work hard, if the machine is gonna get all of the credit for all of the work that I'm doing? Why should I work hard when you're continuously working on replacing me, regardless of my work ethic? That's a mentality, right? Then you got jobs, and this started happening before I got in the workplace. Then you got jobs that are letting you go after you've given this company 20 years, 30 years. They focusing on numbers. They focusing on money, not human. They'll let you go before you right before you retire. Right before you retire, they're letting you go. So they don't have to pay you that retirement. So they don't have to pay you that pension. They practically got rid of pensions, right? Social Security is going to be non-existent, right? Retirement is going to be of completely solo ideology. The way jobs are being set up these days, it's going to be completely on you. What did you save? What did you invest in? And if they let you go if they let you go instead of you retiring, now you don't have your, 401ks are not still being dumped into, stuff like that, man. And all of that stuff that's been gradually increasing since before I got into the workforce. Like that was one of the main things that the older generation would tell me is about, like, Social Security ain't gonna be here forever. Or if you can, set you up one now because they're getting rid of that and all of that stuff. Try to make it to retirement, but don't rely on the job for retirement and stuff like that. If you know that that's the setup, that doesn't make you want to work hard. That doesn't give you the work ethic, right? And the last reason that I could see why the work ethic is so low is because it seems like the slackers, again, going back to bad management, it seems like the slackers get all of the slack while the workers get all of the work. And then they get the discipline if they do, let's say, for instance, they have one no call, no show. They've been showing up early, extra, putting in weekends, holidays throughout the whole year. They do one no call, no show because they tired. They forgot to call out, something like that. They probably sick, couldn't get to the phone, something, anything, right? You get the write up, you get the threaten for termination, all of that stuff because you're a good employee, because we need this work, because of your work ethic, because how you work is so good that you're doing at least the job of two other employees. Because of your outstanding work ethic, you now have more responsibility, and we're going to threaten you to make sure that you continue to work the way that you do. That is the wrongest way to go about it, but it seems to be the most common way that most businesses has a skew towards. Forgive me, I'm a little gotta get my shine on. Shoot. I'm just getting up. We had technical difficulties. I was running behind. I had posted and it ain't post, and I'm like, "What's happening?" And, I had to fix some stuff all last minute. So yeah, forgive me. I gotta put my shine on, man. I gotta get right. So these are all the reasons why the work ethic is so low that I see. If you see any more reasons, please put it in the chat, put it in the discussion. Let's talk about it, right? All good, all good. So, see, these are things that I see is just crazy with the work ethic. So, why then even have or try to build your work ethic? I'll tell you why. Because work is awesome. To have that work ability about yourself sets you apart. It sets you apart. And all success, all success is created as a result of the work. It does not matter what area of success you would like, what area of life you would like success in. Financially is the main one that people go to when they think about it. But personally, if you want to build your confidence, that takes work. If you want to change your perspective, develop improve your mind, that takes work. If you want to learn anything, how to read better, how to read more, takes work. Huh? To achieve anything takes work. So why have a work ethic? Because work ethic is not for the job. It's not for anyone else. It's for you. It's for you. You got to develop your work ethic for yourself because it's going to take work to bring about the life that you envision, that you feel is the right thing for you, to develop the type of lifestyle that you want to live, to see the things in life that you want to see, to get heaven on earth. Hello? To put your mindset at peace, to see the changes that you want to see in life, huh? To see the type of communities, to have the type of interactions, to bring forth anything from thought to reality, it takes work. So have why build your work ethic? Because it all takes work. To be more spiritual, to get more closer to God, guess what? Takes work. To be more disciplined, takes work. To lose weight, guess what? Takes work. To make more money, guess what? Takes work. To be a better partner, a better spouse, a better man, a better woman, a better father, better mother, better wife, better husband. It takes work. For any relationship to work, guess what? Both parties have to be working. It takes work. Everything, everything good takes work. And if you neglect the work, then you get what you get, and it's not going to be what you want. So you have to work for it. Come on, man. Why have and why build your work ethic? Because everything takes work. And it's a beautiful thing. You know how good it feels to work for something and you get it? And once you get it, it usually doesn't take the same effort of work to get it again. Huh? All right. All success is a result of work. Now, all work doesn't look the same. How I work and my work ethic doesn't have to be the same way that you work in your work ethic. What you do, how you work for finances is not the same way that you'll work to be a better spouse, right? Be a better spouse, more than likely you need to be more patient. You need to communicate better. You need to learn to listen and stuff like that. That stuff requires you to slow down. Usually, when you're working financially, that takes physical effort. That causes you to speed up. Like I need to continue doing more activities, but it's all work ethic. All work doesn't look the same. So, how do you build your work ethic? Right? Give you some gems before we head out because this is a good one this morning. Had a few difficulties, but that's fine. How do you build your work ethic? You build your work ethic by changing your perspective on work. If you find yourself saying, man, I gotta work on that, I gotta do that, change the wording. I get to. It's not, I gotta work. No, I get to work. It's an opportunity to develop, it's an opportunity to achieve, it's an opportunity to improve, do better. It's an opportunity to gain. Every time you put in any type of work, that work has to come with a result. It may not come immediately, but all the work you put in will grant you the reward, man. It will. Stay focused, keep working. Change your perspective on work. That's the first thing to do. It's not I got to, it's I get to. It's a challenge, it's not a problem. It's a challenge, and step up to the challenge, man. That brings me to my next point. Challenge yourself. You develop and build your work ethic by challenging yourself. See if you can complete that task in that time frame. And when you challenge yourself to do better, you usually improve and do better. I know that's simple. Let me explain. Usually when you do the job fully focused, you figure out a process. And once you know the process, it takes away the thinking, right? All you got to do is follow the steps, follow the process that you've created, making the work easy. It's no longer a difficulty when you know the result if you just do XYZ, one, two, three. But you won't know that, you won't develop that if you avoid the work. Somebody gonna get this gym. Somebody gonna get this gym, right? You challenge yourself. And within that challenge, you start asking your own self, like, how can we make this more efficient? How can we do this quicker? You start tightening up that process. Get rid of this don't even, we don't even need this to do this. They start asking you, your management, if you had a job, your management will start looking at you, start asking you like, dang, how are you able to get this done twice as fast as everybody else? Gotta pay me for that. I'll show you, and we can create a new standard of procedure. You know, put me in position, put me in the game, coach. Now you're standing out. See what I'm saying? Also, building your work ethic is personal. That along with your personal growth and your self-development, right? Because let me tell you, work ethic takes discipline. It takes standing out from the crowd. You're no longer just trying to fit in because that's very easy to do. Misery loves company. Everybody at a job is complaining. You got groups of people that complain and got the same type of complaints. They're foreshadowing complaints. They even got it to the point where they'll do stuff that they know they're going to complain about. Watch this. They setting themselves up to complain. Set yourself apart. Get away from it. Stand out from the crowd by having a higher work ethic. It takes discipline, standing out from the crowd. It takes determination, huh? It takes confidence, building your work ethic. It takes positive self talk. Chill yourself on. I know I could do it. I believe I can do it. That's the confidence. Believing in yourself. I believe I can do it. I could do anything that put in front of me. Hmm? Building a work ethic takes goal setting practices because you want to complete the task at hand. You want to finish your job. You want to do your work. You have to want to. Which brings me to my last point is overall is willingness. Work ethic is willingness to work. Dog. Work ethic is willingness to work. Huh? Mm. Work ethic is willingness to work. Now, I love work personally, but what I don't like is mandatory, you know, what somebody else sees as important. when I could see that that don't even matter if this isn't done. And it's like, yeah, well, just do what I say. That micromanagement, one of the old heads taught me, he said, you could tell me what to do, you could tell me how to do it, but you can't tell me both. You could tell me what to do, you could tell me how to do it, but you can't tell me both, man. So either tell me what to do and do it, no micromanaging, or tell me how to do it. Like you can't sit here and just like be over me. Let me work. I don't like mandatory. I don't like micromanagement, and I don't like when I'm not being seen, heard, or acknowledged. Because if I'm the one that's doing the work and I have an idea to make work easier and quicker, why wouldn't you listen to the worker, the one who has to do it, the one who has to do the job? Why wouldn't you at least take this person into consideration, right? Another thing I don't like about having a high work ethic is I don't like being abused. Hmm. I'm You become sometimes, depending on the environment, the job, you become overworked. You get overworked because you are now expected to pick up the slack of other people who they know are not going to do the job, who are not as adequate, right? You got to pick up the slack of others. That's bull. That's bull. Had to remember that on the job, you get paid by the hour, not by the effort. But the work ethic is in the effort. So it's kind of like a tug of war there. You don't want to be abused and take on the jobs of two people just because. But what you have to remember is your effort is to stand out and to rise above. Your effort is for you and building your skills. This job might not appreciate all of what you do, but you can showcase your value, what you've learned, developed, and what you do and present it to another job that'll give you triple fold for that value, man, for that work ethic. So don't be limited. Don't be limited when it comes to working because of what somebody else may not be able to see. All of the work ethic, all of my work has been for development. I tell myself that if I could do all of this, right? I told y'all on the last live, I've been working 18-hour days. I did again yesterday. I got home with 4 hours before I had to get back up to come to you live. And here I am, dressed, running a little behind. It's okay. Had a few technical difficulties. It's expected when you're tired. It's okay. But my work ethic said, we're going to get it in. We're going to do this. We still going to show up. How did I develop that? Working. I developed that work ethic by working. So I believe in myself. I'm confident in my work. I love working. And if I could do all of this work that's mandatory for a company or a job that does not appreciate all of what I do does not see all of my value? Morning, Taj. Put it in the chat. And if a company does not see all of my value, does not pay me what I believe I'm worth, you know, giving me criticisms for how much I work now, it's okay because I can put that into myself. If I just put a percentage of that work ethic into myself and I get all of the reward, all of the result, hello, you no longer have to worry about the job. You no longer have to worry about clocking in. You creating your own income because of your work ethic. So many people, that's what Mr. James at the beginning, that's what Mr. James in the beginning was talking about. He said that we have more black businesses than ever before, but what many of us are realizing is the barrier to entry is a lot more tougher than we realize, especially when we don't have the economic funding, right? So it's tough building your own business, building your own brand, creating your own content, networking, communicating, selling, marketing, growing, right? Accruing, anything, hiring when you get to that level. All of these things are challenging. They're not hard. They're challenging, and they're challenging because there are things that you haven't done yet. And that's it. They're just things that you haven't done yet. Once you've done them, you can learn and grow and improve on them. But guess what that takes? Work. That takes work. And if you're not willing to do the work, your business will fail. If you're not willing to do the work, you're saying that I'm not I'm not confident enough to bet on myself because of the work. You ever talk to somebody and tell them or give them an opportunity and they be like, sounds like a lot of work." Like, yeah, it's work involved, but once you just excited about the result, once you just excited about the result, to get to that result, guess what it's gonna take? Work. So, last thing I'm gonna give you is this analogy. Imagine going to the gym. Imagine going to the gym and saying, "I'm not gonna work out as much as everybody else." You see a few people, if you go to the gym, you should be able to acknowledge there's a few people who actually go hard in the gym, who actually like focused and working on their working out. It's a few people. It's usually a handful of people that stand out. It's like don't even talk to them. They are not to be interrupted. You might get hit because they so focused, working, right? Imagine going to the gym and saying, "I'm not gonna work out as much as everybody else." We all here. We all doing the same stuff. We all here for the same thing. We gonna get the same thing. Imagine coming to the gym with that mentality, and then you complain about not losing weight. You complain about not being able to lift as much as the other person who has surpassed you. Y'all came in at the gym at the same time, started off at the same weight. Now this person curling with 50-pound dumbbells, you still at 20. And you upset? What's the difference? I bet you that person was consistent. I bet you that person put in the work. I bet you that person did push-ups while they won't at the gym. I bet you that person said, "Let me go to the gym even more." I bet you that person is doing 2 a days. Hmm? I bet you that person didn't look at you and say, "I need to lift more than you." I bet you that person didn't come in with the mentality of, "I'm not gonna work out as much as everybody else." That person who is getting all of that result is putting in the work. They're putting in the work. So don't fret from the work, man. All success comes from some type of work. Build your work ethic, put in the work to get all of what you want out of life. This is your man Trayvon Pratt with AIM, always improving the mind. Thank you for being here. Of course, Shine is our sponsor. Go to shinecareproducts.com, subscribe to their website, email list, get all that good stuff, and get your shine on like me. All right. Much love to you all. Thank you for being here.